Good evening, you're watching this Mongolian MNB World. I'm your host, Andra Batter. And for our top stories, Mongolian gear was remained in the Netherlands. Local woman voluntarily planted 9,800 trees. Bat-Ulzii won this year's biggest national wrestling tournament and Uuganbayar was the runner-up. And for the news, stay tuned. The Ministry of Health reported on Wednesday 1,582 new confirmed cases and 5 additional deaths.
As of today, 1,582 new cases were confirmed from among the people who took COVID-19 tests nationwide. 1,879 patients recorded within the past 24 hours. Unfortunately, 5 more people died due to COVID-19 complications. 1 case was imported and 452 were confirmed in Uuganbayar, and the remaining 1,130 in the provinces. 9,393 COVID-19 patients are being treated at hospitals nationwide. Additionally, about 8,272 patients are being treated at home. Among the COVID-19 patients being treated at hospitals nationwide, 5,294 are showing mild symptoms of illness, and 196 are in critical condition. Currently in Mongolia, 2,218,058 people have received their first COVID-19 vaccine dose, and 2,022,529 people have received a second dose of vaccine.
Recent statistics show that the frequency of natural disasters is increasing around the globe. In Mongolia's case, desertification and possible droughts are becoming major threats.
In the last 70 years, the annual average temperature has risen by 2.1 degrees Celsius in Mongolia. The ice caps of the mountain have shrunk by about 30%. The impact of climate change is worsening around the world. Mongolia is facing the danger of further desertification and the shortage of water sources, which are already happening. Mongolia is also identified as one of the 10 countries that are most vulnerable to the impact of climate change. These days, the smoke of Siberian wildfires has been felt in Mongolia. If the wildfires continue to rage, it has the possibility to enter Mongolia.
There are several methods to prevent raging wildfires. The instant extinguishing is most important. However, this year Mongolia has infrequent rainfall and the climate is staying moist, so the risk of wildfires is relatively low.
The impact of climate change is becoming more noticeable with current wildfires and floods all around the world. The rising temperatures and droughts are the main cause of the ongoing massive wildfires.
It says that more than 13.4 million hectares of land have been burned due to the wildfires around the globe. But wildfires are still raging. The main cause of this disaster is definitely climate change and human impacts. We are witnessing the direct consequences of carbon dioxide emission.
Experts note that the frequency of climate-related disasters, including wildfires, floods, tsunamis, and landslides, are increasing. It raises an urgent call to take action for the world countries.
Herder Uuganbayar reduced his livestock numbers to 300 from 1,000, and he says he's gaining the same profit as when he had 1,000 livestock. The profit I gained from 300 livestock is equal to that from 1,000 livestock. Previously, when I had lots of livestock, I sold a 2-year-old lamb for around 60,000 tugruk. Now I sell them for over 150,000 tugruk, because they are bigger in size and carry quality meat.
Herder Uuganbayar lives in Hot Province. Traditionally, a herder who has 1,000 livestock is honored by the state. Uuganbayar had qualified for that honor, but he refused the offer. He understood that the high number of livestock requires lots of extra efforts, but bring less benefits. Now he focuses on each individual livestock and prefers quality over quantity. Herder Uuganbayar has also become part of the effective pasture usage program run by his community. Early on, yak wool wasn't used as raw material. Now it has become beneficial, thanks to a refined production system.
There was a time that yak wool wasn't used at factories and it just dissolved in nature. Since yak wool has become a popular raw material like cashmere, we have been able to sell it and gain extra income.
The pasture land degradation and desertification are becoming serious environmental concerns these days. Herder Uuganbayar says by having a lower number of livestock, the grazing capacity of the pasture land won't be exceeded, and it allows the environment to regenerate.
Here we have a story of a Mongolian lady who has been remaking Mongolian gear into Netherlands. She creates the gear with her own hands and with a modern touch.
Bindria has been living in the Netherlands for 20 years. 10 years ago, she bought a gear from Mongolia and used it for her business. Later on, she received requests from foreigners that they too would like a Mongolian gear. At that time, the idea of remaking the Mongolian gear popped into her mind. With tools and materials at hand, Bindria started remaking the Mongolian gear in her own fashion. For instance, the traditional wooden parts of the gear are made with bamboo and other substitution materials.
Here, lots of high-quality wooden furniture is no longer used. I use them for making elements of the Mongolian gear. Here, I made the triangle-shaped roof poles by slicing planks. Traditional roof poles are round, but here, round wood is very expensive, so I substituted.
With her handmade Mongolian gear, Bindria promotes a nature-friendly lifestyle in her community.
Since the dawn of humanity, humans survived without electricity or tap water. I realize many people would like to experience that basic lifestyle at least for a couple of days.
Bindria says it's a great feeling when making things from scratch and receiving the benefits. For assembling the gear, other Mongolians have given her some helping hands. Through her creative solutions, Bindria is promoting Mongolian culture overseas.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
The festival, now in its 15th year, was first held in 2006 in Ulaanbaatar in collaboration with the Mongolian Tourism Association and Mongol Costumes LLC. However, due to the epidemic situation this year, Dilte Mongol Nadam was organized in cooperation between Dance Chance Entertainment and Dilte Mongol Challenge dance competitions were organized for a month. The competition reached 1.2 million people online and was watched by 624,000 people. The dance competition was attended by more than 5,000 participants from the 9 districts of Ulaanbaatar and 20 provinces, as well as from 6 foreign countries, including Germany, Korea, Japan, the United States, and Sweden, with more than 200 entries. The youngest participant in the e-dance competition was a 5-year-old, while the oldest was a 73-year-old. First place was won by the Irmun group from the Children's Palace of Uuganbayar, and the second place was won by the students of the Uuganbayar Children's Dance Ensemble from Zamiutsum, Dorngau. Deputy Prime Minister Amar Sahn on August 12th checked the preparations for the establishment of the new Air Research and Rescue Unit number 111. Under a financial agreement between the governments of Mongolia and France, Mongolia's National Emergency Management Agency and the French General Directorate for Civil Protection and Crisis Management are implementing the Rescue Unit project with a loan from the State Fund of France. As part of the project, an air operation unit is being created at National Emergency Management Agency, and 12 helicopter pilots, 12 mechanics, and 3 emergency rescue doctors are currently undergoing training. Moreover, 2 Airbus EC-145T1 helicopters, fully equipped for air rescue and search missions and emergency health services. A helicopter for flight training and flight simulators were supplied from France, and the helicopter hangar was built. Another Airbus EC-145T1 helicopter will be brought into the country in November of this year. The Deputy Prime Minister underscored that the government of Mongolia is placing special emphasis on successfully and effectively implementing this project, instructing National Emergency Management Agency Chief Erumbolt to complete all necessary preparations to begin the unit's operation in September.
A local woman in Bayangkor province has voluntarily planted 9,800 trees. It's part of her initiative to build a green park in her environment. It's estimated that 50 to 70% of the total territory of Bayangkor province has been affected by desertification. In order to promote greenery in her living environment, Dilgirma initiated her green campaign. With her family, she has planted 9,800 trees so far. Her target is 13,000 trees.
Our campaign is called Green Stupa. We aim to plant trees in a 1-hectare area. The planting has already begun. Thanks to many kind people, our charity is going smoothly.
Currently, Dilgirma is in charge of planting trees and caring for them. She also plants flowers and grass. She says once the green park is established, young people will cherish it and number of volunteers will grow. Her efforts are appreciated by the local administration, and they provided her with an irrigation system and fencing.
The biggest contribution one can make to the environment is planting trees. It has tremendous positive effects. I also want to contribute to my hometown with something that can last for several generations.
By building a green park using her initiative, Dilgirma is also fighting against desertification. She hopes that her efforts will inspire others to take care of the environment. Bat-Ulzii Bayırxu, national wrestler of Zürich-Zumhöft province, won this year's biggest national wrestling competition. 512 national wrestlers competed at a tournament dedicated to the 100th anniversary of the establishment and development of youth organizations in Mongolia, the 30th anniversary of the Mongolian National Wrestling Federation, and the 10th anniversary of the Mongolian Guinness World Records. The tournament was held at Hutolotog. The question of whether to award the state title to the wrestlers who won the fight is attracting the attention of spectators and wrestling fans. According to the organizers, the decision of the National Emergency Commission and the NADAM Commission and awarding titles will be discussed at the autumn session of the State Great Total. In any case, we will review the doping tests and other organizational issues and submit the name. In any case, we will review the doping tests and other organizational issues and submit the names of the winners and runner-ups to the president. Bat-Ulzii won in the 9th round against Uuganbayar. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast of world's major cities. Well, that's all for today, and thank you for staying with us. We will see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.